Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman. I hope everybody is doing well today. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on Black Ink Chicago, or Black Ink Crew Chicago's Ryan Henry. Now, according to a recent interview, I believe he said that he's been told, and this again is allegedly. I don't know if this is actually real, but I don't see why what he would gain out of lying or this story being false. But quote unquote, I have three psychics reach out. I've had three psychics reach out to me to tell me about me dying soon. He wrote, and then he says I still have S to do, shit to do. So I'm gonna do a reading, see what I see in his life. Going on. Now, I will say this, that, you should be leery of psychics that tell you that when you're going to die. One, that's not ethical. Two, not many psychics are privy to that information. Spirit is not privy to that information. Spirit does not know, like, unless you're already, your soul contract is up and you're already at an exit point in your life. Then it's not going to happen. It's very rare that we will know, though it's a very rare gift. There are people out there that are psychic that do have that gift, or a mediumship / psychic gift where they can see when someone is about to die. It's not uncommon for people to have premonitions. A lot of people have had dreams about that person dying. I've had those kind of dreams before, but it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm using my psychic ability and I see death in someone's future. Like that, it's not. So if these psychics, so-called psychics, are giving him that kind of information, and it's three different ones, and of course they don't know each other, I would say that it's kind of a fear. It could be some truth to it, but I honestly feel like if they reached out to you, first of all, real psychics don't reach out to people with those kind of messages. And most people are not soliciting. If you're a psychic, a professional psychic, you're not going to do that. Now, there are some psychics that do have messages that are professional that will reach out to someone and give them, but this is like a very scary type of thing, and that's the tactic that a lot of psychics out there use. So before I even get into the cards, pulling cards for him to see what I see, I'm going to just give you, because I'm looking at my computer screen, I'm actually looking at his face. Very attractive guy. He's very tall. I feel like he's very tall. When I look at him, I do feel like his health is not the best, okay? So I'm not going to lie. There are things that he's put in his body, things that he has done, maybe, over the last couple of years that have led up to this point where I see possible health issues, issues relating to the kidneys, eventually, issues with his circulation and cardiovascular system. Now, this does not mean that, because I'm not a doctor, and again, this is not a diagnosis, it's just on a spiritual level, and it's allegedly what Spirit is showing me. But I do feel like he does suffer from some health issues that may not be disclosed to the public, that only he would know about. I also feel like there's something going on with his blood, so I don't know if he suffers from low blood sugar or high blood sugar, but there is definitely something with his blood sugar that he needs to watch. If he doesn't suffer from that now, it's something just to watch, period. When I tune into him, I feel like he, for the most part, there's a lot that he's wanted to do in this lifetime, but I feel like this lifetime has been very complicated. I don't follow the show. I don't have that channel, I don't believe. But I feel like his life has been very complicated. A lot of drama from like females. I also feel like there was some beef with some males as well. But I feel like there's been a lot of women mainly in this life, in his love life, that there's just so much drama around that. And I feel like he hasn't really been very entirely happy. And again, when we have unhealthy coping mechanisms, we tend to gravitate towards doing things or using things to numb the pain that we have instead of addressing it and healing it. That's like the easiest thing to do. And it's something that I see in a lot of psychic readings that I do privately for clients, not just celeb clients, but actually everyday people. So when I say that he has problems, he does have problems. And these are karmic lessons that he came into this lifetime having those kind of lessons. And in order for him to get better physically, mentally, and spiritually, he does have to do like an aura cleansing, bathing in salt, like a bath salts, right? Like using Palo Santo and sage, but also cutting out the toxicity that exists not only in the people the women that are around him, but also his life. I feel like kind of like when something's not right, he goes like, fuck it, and then he just like throws his hands up in the air and, he just keeps going and doing the same things. And it's kind of like you can't give up and you can't do things halfways is what Spirit is getting to. So this is like what I'm seeing before I even get into the actual tarot reading, kind of switching things up, relying on my gift, not just what the cards will say. But I feel like overall he is a good person. I don't feel like he's necessarily a bad person at all. I feel like he's very pure of heart, and he still has this inner child that is wanting to emerge and be happy. But happiness has been fleeting for him in this lifetime. I can't say, sure, he's maybe smiled on the show or he's had fun with his homies, or with people. But overall, happiness is not something that he has had. In fact, I feel like there's been a lot of loss, maybe a loss of a loved one, a very close female loved one, or other people. This doesn't have to be necessarily death, but I am getting a very strong female energy around him in the spirit world. So there is definitely someone that wants to reach out, and I feel like there are messages that he's trying to get, or that Spirit is trying to give him, but he cannot receive those messages. I also feel like a lot of these women that have been very trifling around him are witches, and they have done some voodoo, some bad magic. So he has some witchcraft that was done against him. People that want there are people that are negative, and they want revenge when they can't be with you, or they can't have you, or they're jealous of your success. There are some females that have done some kind of witchy stuff, or hired somebody to do it, like another witch to do it. So he does have that in his energy. I do feel like I keep seeing guns, and I keep seeing people like carrying. I don't know if he carries a weapon, but he does need to be careful with the crowds that he hangs around with, because I feel like there's like a loose cannon, and there could be some kind of altercation that happens that results in somebody getting shot at some point. Because again, I keep hearing streets, the street life. So I don't know if there are gangs that in the neighborhood that he lives in, or people that he was previously affiliated with. But I keep feeling this connection to like a gang, or some people that he has that have him in their radar that are very negative, and they would not think twice or bat an eyelash, to hurt him in some kind of way. This doesn't mean necessarily shooting him, killing him or anything like that, but there is definitely some bad things going on. And on some level, I think he is pretty spiritual. He tries not to believe in that. He does want to believe that God is with him, but again, God and the angels, the divine power, can only be with us when our vibration is high. Even though we will always have our guardian angels, since that world, that angelic realm, and the divine source does not operate on a very low vibration. And when I say low vibration, I mean like things like addictions, very lustful, jealousy, ambition to the point of, screwing someone over and not giving a damn on what you're doing. Those kind of like are the vibrations that are low vibrations. And when you are operating at a low vibration, and the divine and angels, your guardian angels, are at a higher vibration, because they're happiness, sunshine, goodness, they cannot communicate. They won't come down and necessarily protect you, because again, you have to do your own inner work for that connection. It's like a hotline to heaven. If you cannot connect, you're going to lose that signal, like a Wi-Fi signal to heaven or to the angelic realm, because you are vibing very low, which is more of like the low vibes. The longer that we stay in that, it opens up portals and opens up doorways to the not so good. Some people call this like demons and stuff, right? So he does have like a gray kind of aura at this point. I do feel like his true aura is a yellow aura, which tells me he's very linear in his thinking, very much a go-getter, very organized in some ways. But I also feel like he has a blue aura as well, and so like kind of like an indigo aura. And so with the indigo, it tells me he would be considered like an indigo child. So I'm not sure how old he is or when he was born, but you know, there are different people believe that indigo children were born like between the late 1970s, I believe, to like the 1980s and early up to the 1990s. But I believe that, you know, you can be an indigo child at any time. I could refer to him as a starseed, but I feel like he's more of an indigo. And so his life purpose here is repeating what he repeated in a past life incarnation, as far as his love life, being unhappy with you know, not having the best trust, you know, trust values with people around him. He doesn't trust people easily. He has a very selective nature in what, you know, what he wants and what kind of people he's going to invite into his circle. But again, a lot of people have come and have left. So I'm going to use the tarot of the 78 doors. I think it's this one. I don't have the box, but it's a 78 doors tarot, and it mimics the actual, what's the name of it? The Rider-Waite. So I'm just going to pull some cards, and we're going to see what I get for him. I hope everybody's doing well. So I'm just going to shift them. Okay, so legal issues with the Justice card. Sometimes the Justice card means that things, you know, in your life are going to go well. It's a turning point. But for me, the way that I interpret it with the things that I'm seeing is that there are going to be legal issues. Not necessarily that he's being sued, but maybe his baby mama or somebody, you know, is going to take him to court. Or it could be like, you know, something with the business, you know, his business career, what he does, you know, as an artist. You know, there's a lot of that going on. Ten of Cups shows me, you know, family life. Like, ultimately, that's what he wants. He wants to be happy. But like I said, happiness is very fleeting. When we look at the Four of Swords, you know, we're looking at the Four of Swords here. It's like, kind of like movement. But also, like, you know, I feel like in some ways it's kind of like being blind, because the swords is the mental energy, it's the air energy, and it's more of our thoughts. It's more of like not being able to see things very, very clearly, like being blind. So this tells me that he could be very ruled by his emotions at some point, and it can cause him heartbreak in the future. It can cause him to not necessarily move forward. It's almost like a resting period that he would be going through, right? But I feel like I really feel like he is going through a situation where he's not seeing things from a good perspective. It's almost like whatever he's going through over the next 2 years, he's not seeing the bigger picture. It's almost like he's already has this mindset up and or an opinion about someone, and he's wrong about that. I do see a strong female that is much older. This would not be romantic. I don't know if his mom is still living, or if this would be like someone that you know, that he trusts, maybe like somebody else's mama. But there is somebody else that is like a mom figure, and I feel like it is a very good energy, and I feel like she is going to always be there for him, like lending an ear when he needs it. If he doesn't know who this person is, she is coming into his life, is what I'm getting. And that's with the Ace of Pentacles. You know, it also means that he has projects, things that he is working on that he still wants to do, that is going to be fulfilled, right? And again, remember that this reading, anything can change due to his free will, with Ryan's free will. So Then I have here the Nine of Wands. So it's like he's worked very hard, but he hasn't gotten the recognition that he feels that he deserves. It's almost like you work very, very hard, but Spirit is reminding him that he is on the verge of doing bigger and greater things with his career. You know, his designs being sold, you know, getting the word of mouth out there. So I see that, but then I see obstacles, and the obstacles that exist are more with like communication with other people, putting up barriers, not wanting to see him succeed. A lot of gossip, a lot of jealousy as well, a lot of that. And then I got here the Hierophant. So when we look at the Hierophant, we see it's somebody that is very spiritual, someone that is very much like a teacher. You know, they've traveled the world. You know, they're like a father figure in some way as well. So there is guidance, kind of like he's going to be receiving guidance from people that, you know, a guy or males that are much older than him as well. This could be like friends or other people. That's how I see the Hierophant. So I see that. Then I see the Ace of Wands. So it tells me that new doors are about to be open, like breakthrough. He's about to have new success in the next couple of years. And I feel like things are moving forward for him if he can remain positive, but he's not patient. Patience is something that a lot of people lack as a quality, but that's something that he needs to be very, very patient about. The Queen of Swords, again, tells me that there's a female that is very much opinionated. Again, the drama, someone that he would be in a relationship with. I feel like she has her own things, and nothing that he does is going to ever be good enough. There's always going to be doubt with this person. And so whoever this female is that he would be in a relationship now or in the near future, I feel like that relationship will dissolve. And again, it's going to dissolve because of her own way of thinking, the way that she would attack him, you know, just her being herself, you know, which is very much like, I feel like she's not on his level, basically, is what Spirit is saying. And then the Wheel of Fortune, which means progression, moving forward. And these are the cards that I pulled out for him, which were enough to tell me that I don't see immediate death. I don't see any kind of death like these psychics told him that reached out to him. I don't see that. I don't see any of that. But I do see danger in the event that he does not kind of sober up, clean up, whatever he has done or doing still. Again, this is more about like dependencies, more about addictions that I'm referring to. As long as he can address those things and he can work through those things, then there is no danger. But the part of it of not, you know, the actual part of him wanting and having the willpower to push past these I call them like low vibrational blocks. The inability to do so could result, again, in a deterioration of his health, and anything is possible. So while the psychics were, you know, I think trying to scare him, maybe it was the same one, I don't know. But I feel like, again, there is an existing danger, and that's for anybody. Like, you know, sometimes we like to indulge in things that are not good for us. It's kind of like if you... I'm just going to use this as an example, and some bad example, but I'm going to use it. No offense to anyone that's gone through this, but like some people that are addicted to pain medication, right? There's people that go in for back surgery or knee surgery, or, you know, they go into some kind of surgery and they have a lot of pain. And they get, you know, addicted to those pain medicines, and it becomes something where they lose themselves and they have to have it no matter what. And then they start turning to other things that, you know, other medications or over the counter or other prescriptions to kind of numb the pain. And they start becoming that addict. And then their heart all of a sudden stops one day, right? Because they overdid their medications. They overtook something. Again, that's the kind of things that I'm alluding to. That's very much a possibility if, you know, changes are not made. But again, it's all going to depend on the people that are around him, what he allows into his life, and him having the willpower to see things from a greater perspective and cleanse his energy. You know, and for him, he does need to carry selenite and black tourmaline. Those are very powerful crystals. The selenite will connect him to his higher self, to the angelic realm, and it will give him overall a greater connection to spirit, so that his guardian angels can kind of communicate with him easier. The black tourmaline is going to keep away all psychic attacks, all witchcraft. It's going to get rid of all demonic energy, or, you know, energy that is negative or a negative vibration that would be trying to attach itself to him or kind of interfere with his moods. And then, of course, again, like I said, I recommend that he would do saging or smudging. We call it smudging, but just basically using a stick that's like sage, and that is sage, and or Palo Santo, which is like a stick of holy wood, and you burn that. And you can do that like every day, because every day that he's around other people, when he's doing, you know, his regular work, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that you energetically interact with, and he absorbs that, you know, that energy into himself. But overall, like, I don't see, I'm just going to be honest, I don't see something like, oh my God, you know, he, like, a threat, you know, you got to be careful. So again, I would just take with what the psychics told him with a grain of salt. Again, I'm not trying to talk crap about them. You know, everybody is gifted in their own way. Perhaps they see something I don't, but I honestly feel like when it's coming from a place of fear, a vibrational place of fear, it's something that you should not even entertain or even hold on to. So, for all of you Black Ink Crew, Chicago's you know, Black Ink Crew fans, thank you so much for requesting this reading. I hope that Ryan sees this. I wish him all the best, and who knows, maybe he can do one of my tattoos later on. I'm just kidding, just kidding. But thank you again, and many blessings and love and light. Okay? Bye.